So, good evening, everyone. We are live here once more. Today, as you can see, just me and Samantha are here. Stevan and Vanderlei not able to join us tonight. To be true, I balked then, I think, because I do want to do just a girl night here, okay? I'm joking. They are working very hard, poor guys. So, guys, today, just as I say, me and Samantha. How are you today, Samantha?
I'm good. It's been a busy week so far. I know it's only Tuesday. Yeah. But I have a lot to do this week, which is good. It's always good to have things to do. So exciting things as well, as I'm preparing to spend Christmas with my family, which is amazing.
Oh, that's a great news.
That is good news.
Very good. Just to make sure, guys, everyone is here as well. Good. Any problem with any of our audio? If you are there, just say to us if you are good, if it is okay with the audio and video. All right. Good evening, Daniela. Good evening, Luana. Good evening, Abu. Heraclio. Good evening, all. So, first of all, as usually, we start with our initial prayer, right? Adriana, thank you, Adriana. Audio is perfect. Video is perfect. We are ready to go. So, guys, let's clean our minds. Take a deep breath. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. And let's think about Jesus. Let's elevate our thoughts to the high spirits. We ask for guidance for tonight, for the conversation that we have here. We ask in the guiding and lighting from the good spirits and from the mentors of the Spirit Society of Ireland at this moment, that we all good can enjoy this moment that we are sharing here. So be it. Amen. All right. Good evening, Patricia. Good to have you here as well. Always with us. Samantha, what we will talk about tonight?
Yeah, so tonight we are going to talk about the chapter 17, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So chapter 17, which is Be Perfect. This is a very good chapter. The content is really nice, but it's a bit challenging as well because it makes us think a lot, make us think about everything that we do and how we do it, and the weaknesses that we have. It's a chapter with a lot of texts, so basically it's just one text, basically text and letters. So those letters, each one of them has kind of their own subject, and it is challenging in the sense that when you're reading it, you see how much you need to improve, and it's challenging for us as well to be talking about those things tonight. So we will try our best, but I think it is important to say that we are here talking about those things, but in fact, we are only learning from everything that we studied before the talk, and that everything that we read in this chapter, and we are also in our journey as well to be perfect. So the very fact that we are here talking about it doesn't make us any better than anyone. So it's just that we had the opportunity to read it, and we would like to use it to have a conversation, basically. So we encourage you guys to send your questions or to make your comments, or everything that you want to say, because participation is really good for us. It is good because helps us to see if we are in the right path. If everything that we are saying are being understood. And also it is nice because we learn from those things as well. So myself and Nate are very open to your thoughts, guys. So please send all your comments and questions and anything that you want to send us. So
yes, your participation is very important for us.
Yeah. And also we talk to each other a lot, right, Nate? We would like to talk
Yeah.
to other people as well. So to start, I just wanted to read a small bit of the chapter. It's from the text Moral Persons, and I think it is very it's very helpful for us, this special parts, because it's it kinds of summarize everything that is in the chapter. So we will have other beats in the chapter, but this part basically summarize a lot what's being treated in the whole chapter. So moral persons, item 3 of this chapter. Truly moral persons are those who practice the law of justice, love, and charity, and in its greatest purity. If they question their conscience about their actions, they ask themselves if they have violated this law, if they have done any evil, if they have done all the good they could, if they have willingly disregarded any opportunity to be useful, if anyone might have a complaint about them, and finally, if they have done unto others everything they would like to have done unto themselves. They have faith in God and in God's goodness, justice, and wisdom. They know that nothing happens without God's permission, so they submit the divine will in everything. They have faith in the future. Thus, they place spiritual possessions above temporal ones. They know that all the vicissitudes of life, all its sorrows, and all its disappointments are trials or expiations, and they accept them without complaining. Persons imbued with the sentiment of charity and love for the neighbor do the good for its own sake without expecting anything in return, and they repay evil with good, defend the weak against the strong, and always sacrifice their own interests to the interests of justice. They find their satisfaction in the benefits they spread around, the service they render, the happiness they promote, the cheers they dry, and the consolation they provide to the afflicted. The first impulse is to think of others before thinking of themselves, and to attend to the interests of others before their own. So,
Wow.
yeah. So I think that if we would read this part, it's basically just one page. And if we try to apply those things to our lives, then this is work enough for an entire incarnation, I would say. Well, of course, we have different spiritual levels between us, but in general, as the earth is a place of atonement, and it's in transformation. We are, well, there are no saints between us. So most of us, the big majority of us, need to work on those things. So I believe this is enough work for our whole life.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know, Nate. What do you think?
While you were reading, look who is here. Who is here?
Wanderlei.
Oh, Wanderlei, hi. We are here working hard while you are playing at home, huh? I'm joking. It's the opposite. Good evening, Wanderlei. So, while you were reading this message, this part from the gospel, I was here. So, my God, this is just the perfect recipe, you know, for the for forget the perfection in life. Let's say, right? Because every topic, every line that you were reading, is like wow. And the day that we can really do it, put this in practice, right? In our everyday life, you'll be like the perfection. We'll be the perfect ones.
Will be
But
perfect.
as you said, we unfortunately we are not able to do it yet. But at least I think we have the conscience and we have the tools now to work that because for example this we have the gospel that give us so much knowledge that we can work on, and it's not easy to look that and to after you read that, after you get this knowledge, to look to ourselves and to see which imperfections is the one that most need to be worked now. Because I believe, as I have talked with many people that study spiritism as well, it's like it's quite impossible for the time that we are now to work in all our imperfection in just one time. Let's say that I work in my pride and my selfishness and my vanity and so on, all them together. No, it'll be a big mess, right? But at least I can pick one and say, okay, I know that this is very serious in me. This is a problem that I have. I have to work on this, so I would choose to work like in my proud, all right, or in my selfishness, or any other thing that I see that I need to work. So I will pick one and I work on this one. And maybe in the next life I can work at the next one. Then maybe later I can work on the other one till the time that I will have all these virtues and together in one life. And then when we will be, I'd say, relatively perfect. Because perfection uh, for the time that we live now in Earth uh, is quite is something that Steven always say that I'm completely agree with him. If you think that you are perfect and you are here in Earth, I'm sorry you got the wrong bus. Because the planet Earth is not for the perfect people, right? For the perfect spirits. Not yet. Here is a school. So we all have our imperfection here. And we all are here to work on that imperfections to get to the perfection one day. But it'll be a really, really mistake to think that we can reach this in just one life here. No, it's not work like that. But let's if you think like that, I think we will never reach nowhere because you get too upset if you think, oh my God, I'm too far from perfection. So let's put in a terms like in the life that we are having now, in the times that we are having now in this planet, how can I be perfect? At least not perfect the way that a perfection spirit, the angels, the spirits, let's say. I'm talking about like a earth perfection. How can I work to make my life relative perfected now? What do you think, Samantha? What we can do to make things a little bit better for us?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So this is a very interesting question. I think, as you said, there's no recipe. There's no. It's not so black and white, unfortunately. But as you were saying, we can pick one thing that we can try and change, and that is a very good strategy, I would say. And another thing that I think we could do as well is try to work on our relationships, because we probably have a lot of friends, people that love us. We have our family, so we probably have a lot of people that we go that that we go really well with in the family, but we also have those who we have some disagreements with, or maybe we don't share the same view, or maybe we had a problem or a fight in the past, or there could be anything, or even that person you feel like you don't really like that person for some reason. So try and work on those relationships is a good way, because it without noticing, you'll be experimenting a few things. Like, you probably, if for example you had a fight with a friend and you don't talk to this person anymore, and you try and bring back this relationship to your life, you probably will have to start it by asking for forgiveness. So this type of things, they are hard, especially if it's something that was strong for you, or if it was something that kind of brought you some trauma, or it was something that was really painful for you at that time, or at the time that it happened. But trying to build this relationship again will help you to develop a few things, like your selfishness, your pride, or even will help you be passionate, patient, or so many things that you don't necessarily need to say, I need to work on my pride, or I need to learn how to forgive, because this is not something I know. But doing those things, or trying to reshape those relationships, can help you achieve those small things that you want to change without even noticing that you're changing those things. It's just about maybe being the person that is going to extend the hand, or even if there is no fight, if for example there's someone that you never talked to, so trying to talk to someone, trying to establish a relationship, those things, we are social people, and we are not a social people for by chance, right? So there is a reason why we are social people, and we need each other. We all need each other. So I was watching a movie, because we watch movies a lot this time. So I was watching this movie, and I saw this lady saying, I don't need anybody to look after me. So there was a guy trying to help her. And I think that this feminist movement sometimes can be overwhelming, in the sense that they give that impression, maybe unintentionally, but they give that impression that we don't need anybody. We do. We need each other. We should not need, in the sense that we want that person to be what we should be, or to do what we should do, but we are here to help each other, to kind of take each other's back, and kind of construct together. So that would be something in my mind, it just came to my mind now, that would help in this path to perfection.
Oh yeah, because in this chapter that we are studying, there is a part that they talk about the worldly person. I think I pronounced it right. Worldly person, a person from the world. Because exactly like that, they say that it is I even separate just a small part that they say you are called upon to be in contact with spirits of diverse natures and opposite characters. Do not enter into conflict with anyone with whom you may find yourself. So, in this part of the chapter, they talk about exactly about this kind that you're talking about, because this is what we need to grow, to to win this battle that we have against our pride, against our selfishness. Because, for example, when you talk about forgiveness, when I think about forgiveness, I cannot think about forgiveness without think about pride. To be able to ask for forgiveness, because when we talk about forgiveness, another point. I'm just linking here. Try to follow me in this one. To when we say when we spiritists, we say this a lot. We need to learn it, forgiveness, and then we always think about it's so hard to forgive the person that hurt me. How can I forgive? We always put ourselves in the position that I have to forgive someone. But have you ever think about those who you have to ask for forgiveness? When we ask for forgiveness, we never think in this part. We always think on the opposite way. We always put ourselves the ones who are suffering, who have to forgive, not the one who are the one who have to ask for forgiveness, right? But to be able to ask for forgiveness, I have to overcome my pride. Because if you are a proud person, who want to be able to ask anyone for forgiveness?
Yeah.
So is another link that I'm having studied about it, because we used to be always in the part of the victim, never on the opposite way, on our boss, on the, I don't know if our boss is the word in English, but yeah, the one who hurt someone, because we do as well, the same way. And Isaac, in this chapter, they say that we live with each other because we need each other, like you said. We have to learn with each other. What's the point? I came to learn something, and I will move far away in a isolate island, be by myself, be a happy life, just me and the animals on the forest, don't have contact with anyone. What are you learning from that? How are you overcoming my imperfection? How are you work on the points that I have to work? It's not going to happen.
No.
Because I will self-isolate myself, and I will avoid to deal with that. And as you said, we need each other. Exactly, because we have to learn with each other. So if today I'm in a difficult family, it's because I need that family in that moment to learn something, to exchange knowledge, in this group. If I'm living with a group of friends, it's because I have to learn something with that friends as well. I'm not put here, but I don't have been put here by chance. I say, I complain about my friends or my flatmates or the ones that I live with, but why? Why this happen? Why I having this problem? Is if I'm in that situation, the first thing that I think I should do is to stop and asking myself why I'm getting through this. Why did these people come to me and brought this situation? What I have to work on here, right? And I think it's a very important chapter on the book. And this part I like it because they say exactly like that. We cannot avoid people. We cannot avoid run away from this. We have to face it, because just facing and living these words and be part of these words, be part of this community, then we're gonna work. We're gonna do our part and be a good person, let's say. Because on the beginning they talk about the characteristic of the perfection. That you already said some of them, that benevolence, indulgence, abnegation, and devotion. But to exercise all these characteristics to be perfect, we have to overcome our bad tendencies, right? And thank God we have not just one chance, but we have many chances, thanks to the incarnation, thanks to the mercy of God, that gave us, this chance to come back and try again, If it's not happening, we'll come back and try again. It's like wake up every day, think about, okay, yesterday I couldn't make, but today I will try again. And with luck in the end, I will success. It's like go to work every day.
Yeah.
Let's see, I have a question for Abo Randa. I will put here that you can read together. Question: if I do wrong for someone and ask for his forgiveness, does it mean that no bad thing will come to me? The dice forgiveness eliminate karma? Not really, because then what Spiritism says for us is the fact that we ask for forgiveness don't really eliminate the consequence of our actions, but will help, let's say. Because, for example, I hurt someone really badly, right? And this person is really feeling really angry at me and like hate me, and I don't like this person as well. And, I try to avoid, and we, have that bad feeling. I don't want to face that person. But then one day I decide, okay, I have to move on with my life, and I need to have the food to ask for forgiveness. I will come to this person, but first we have to remember one very, very important thing here. When you get to the point that you will ask or you forgive someone, doesn't matter which side are you, if you are forgiving or if you are giving the forgiveness, doesn't matter. The most important thing is you have to do it from the heart. You have to really do it like with intention, not just say by, okay, I forgive you, turn around and then say, I hate that person. No, it doesn't work like that. Because when you have someone that we hurt or someone that hurt us or whatever, when we have two parts, all right, with this feeling, we keep attracting each other, and this feeling holds us back. Doesn't matter if you are the one who have been hurt or the one who hurted. Both will be holding this feeling. You always have that bad feeling because you will exchange energy. I don't know if you are following me, because when Spiritism teaches us this, we have this vibration. We vibrate according with our feelings. So if I have this feeling for the anger and hatred from someone or someone from me, we will vibrate in a level. And this will attract no good things for me, no good thing for my life. So I will always have some trouble some point. But when I decide to forgive or to ask for forgiveness or whatever, I will really have to work on to be able to do it from the bottom of my heart. Even if I know this, forgiveness is not something easy. It's not something that, okay, you go there and I will forgive you, but maybe I still feeling that. Because as the Spirit and God taught us, Jesus, forgiving is not about forget. Forgiving is be able to think about the situation or that person without feeling hurt, without feeling anger, without feeling hatred. So forgiving if an act of charity as well, but you have to put your feelings on, to be true, something true. And when you do this, you broke like a chain. When you broke this chain, you will feel much lightly. If you are the one who have carrying this heavy bag, for years or for long, and then when you forgive or when you ask for forgive, independent of the other party, if they forgive you, they don't forgive you. No, it's about what you are doing for yourself as well. You let the weight go, and you feel light. And like I said, this doesn't mean that you will broke the consequence of your action, because when you did something that generates an action in the future, you will have to go to that, right? But the way that you go through that will be completely different when if you don't carry this heavy bag anymore. You're gonna pass through the challenge, through this karma, as you said. You use the word karma, we use all the words, but the word doesn't matter. You mean the same. But when you get through this, you be much light for you. You suffer much less, and on the end, really, you feel very, very glad to to be working on your forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's true, Samantha. I did something. I said something that
No,
is
no.
not.
No. I think
So
you
I hope that
explained
help
you
you.
explained really well. I think just to add to what you said, one important thing that we need to think is Spiritism teaches us that we need to repair our wrongdoing. So if you did something to somebody and you ask for forgiveness, it's the first step in repairing what you did, and that's how we kind of broke this situation of, because every cause has an effect, right? So there are so many laws that we kind of live on. So all this laws, so the cause and effect is one of the laws of God. So if you do something will come from it, right? So if you did something bad, you're going to receive something bad in return, because that's the effect of your the effect of the cause. But so the first thing is to repair your wrongdoing. So asking for forgiveness is the first step. Maybe you can help that person. You can revert what you did with that person specifically. So if it's something that you did to that person, you ask for forgiveness and you ask to help or to redo what you did somehow, then you're solving the problem that way. But if the person don't accept your forgiveness, then you need to try and repair your action with somebody else or with something else. So we always have to think about repairing. But asking for forgiveness is a very important step in that process because of all the things that Nate said. So you're doing it from the bottom of your heart. You know that what you've done was wrong. So that knowing is really important because it prevents you from doing that again. So if you ask for forgiveness and you don't feel it in your heart, you're probably going to repeat it. So it is important to not do it again because you don't want to contract that debt one more time, right? So that's one thing as well. And that it was really interesting what you explained, Nate, about the vibration. So when you understand what you did and you understand that it was wrong, you then, as we were saying before, you are perfecting yourself as well. So you are giving one more step in that process of trying to become perfect, trying to improve yourself, right? So these, I think, are the things that I would like to add to that explanation that for me was brilliant. But I think that notion that we need to repair what we did is really important because it's not like you have free will. You have your life in your hands. And so you can do a lot of things. It's not like because I did this, I will receive that in return. And God is merciful. God will always be on our side. And if you don't want to feel anything bad, if you don't want anything bad to happen to us in the future, we need to act on those things. And we need to be more, how can I explain that? We need to have the initiative, right? We need to be more active on those things and not to wait for anything. It's not like I did something to somebody, now I'm going to suffer and that's it. No, you have so many tools, you have so many options in situations where you can work on those things and repair the wrongdoing. So that is basically one point that I would like to add. And I think he said something else.
Yeah, he said, and then he said, so why the merciful God doesn't not forgive this person and eliminate this punishment? And that I can say that God don't punish nobody. That's not God who has to forgive in this case, because the true thing is what we do to ourselves, with to each other. God doesn't punish us as we learn it through Spiritism. God is not God who punish us. It's our conscience who will punish us, and the consequences of our actions. No action, reaction. The law of action and reaction. Reaction. When we do some harm to someone, we broke the God laws, and this is why we we add this, like you said, like this karma, because we broke the law, broke the God law somehow, right? And I was conscious who I was conscious that had all the God laws will punish us, but it's not God. God doesn't, let's say, doesn't care. Be true. Like say, let's say, like say, it's not pick us and say, okay, you will do this, not gonna go, you will pay. No, because the law is there, and what's happened is because we broke the law, we have to repair the law. You know, is the is basically like that, and it's not God who does this.
Yeah.
Even if he has the power to say, okay, I forgive you, but we still, because it's still in our conscience, what we did wrong, and we will need to repair this, to fix that, to move on, to be free again. Because as Samantha said, we have free will, and we can use whatever we want.
Yeah.
Right?
Something I would say about it is that basically God understand. Thank you. Good.
Thank you, Abo. You very participated. I like that.
Yeah. So basically, God, when He says, why the merciful God does not forgive this person, I would say that, of course, I don't know God, but from everything that I studied already and everything that I learned from Spiritism, God doesn't even, like, He is not even offended by what we do. We can do anything. So it's like, so Jesus Christ was the most perfect spirit on earth. And when he was crucified and all of those horrible things would happen to him, he said, God, forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. Jesus Christ was not even offended by what was happening because his understanding was so far away from our understanding. He was so sure of what he was doing, and he knew that nothing that he was doing was wrong. And he knew as well that these people that were crucifying him and putting him under so much suffering did not have the same line of thinking as him. So he just understood the whole situation very well, and he could see that these people were not mature enough. So they didn't know what they were doing. They were making a mistake, but they weren't even aware of the mistake that they were making. So that distinction from the situation, that is basically how God thinks. He's not offended by anything that we do, and he is so. I think his mercifulness appears in the fact that he gives us as many opportunities as we need to perfect ourselves, to improve ourselves. And we don't have a deadline. He didn't say you need to be perfect by 2030. No. So you have all your time. You take your time. You do whatever you want to do, right? But the suffering from it, because even though like those laws and everything, the way they happen, if you really think about it, they make a lot of sense. And when, as Nada said, when you break those laws, those laws, they only exist to kind of give us a time, like a frame. You know, it's like a chessboard. You have some rules, and inside those rules, you can do whatever you want, right? Some good moves will help you to win. Some bad moves will help you to lose. So you have the rules, and you need to comply with those rules, and that's basically how our life is. So if we break this law, we need to repair it, and from the repairs, we will learn and we will improve ourselves. And what God really wants is for us to improve. And that's why he gave us all the free will that we have. And he wants us to acquire all this knowledge by ourselves, to perfect ourselves from or by our own efforts. Because that's where lies it makes it worth it, right? So it's like when you get some, like if you win the lottery, you get the money, and then you spend the money like crazy. You know, you're not really attached to this money, because this money doesn't really mean anything to you, right? So you probably going to be happy for the first months, but then there'll be a lot of problems from it as well. So when you work and you get the money from your work, that money, the value that the money has is so much more. And that's basically what Spiritism teaches us. What God wants is for us to improve ourselves from our own merits. And that's where his mercifulness lies. And the last thing about punishment, there is no punishment whatsoever from God. It's basically we interact with this loss that will cause us some good or some bad. But again, we can improve our own situation.
Very good. I think a little bit happy with our answer. Sorry if it's not very. If there is any doubt, you can send you later. Because as Samantha said in the beginning, we are all here learning together. Don't think that we know much more than you. We are just a little bit, we read a little bit more. But yeah, we still here learning too, my friend. Yeah. And all the part this chapter that they talk about is directed to those who nominate themselves spiritists. They talk about the good spiritists. And after I read few depoiments and saw few examples of a good spiritist. I consider myself just a student of Spiritist and a learner, like I'm here just learning. I don't have the courage to say that I'm Spiritist yet at all, because the good Spiritist, as they say, is recognized by all these virtues that we are talking about here, of the virtue of the good person, let's say, and to be able to really practice what Spiritism means. Because we are here, we are talking about all this, but as we said, it's not easy to put this in practice, guys. We are strong every day to put this into practice this, to be more kindness, to be more patient, even with ourselves, because sometimes we do things that hurt just ourselves, we are impatient, we are taking decisions too fast, we are prejudiced, we are holding back our evolution, our growing, because of this impulse that we have, because we are not patient enough, we are not kind enough, we are not merciful enough with ourselves as well. Imagine with the others. So yes, we are here learning to try to get there as everyone else. And another day I was listening the speech of Haroldo Dutra Dias. For those who know, Haroldo is a very well-known speaker from Brazil, and he's a very good speaker. And I was listening his speech, and he said something that really makes sense, and this is perfect, because he said that the purpose of Spiritism is not to make the people become Spiritists. The purpose of Spiritism is to make the people better, make the people good. So this is fantastic, because we don't have to be a Spiritist to go to the Spiritist center to watch it alive or to study a Spiritist book. We want just to have the desire to improve yourself, because the knowledge that we can acquire study Spiritism is huge, and we can make a lot change, in our life with that, if we put really in practice. You know, we are all students of Spiritism. Yes, Don, I missed you, guy. That's very very true. We all are, and this is really really important, because we don't have to convince nobody, or to, how can I say, to say that I'm a Spiritist. No, I really like the Spiritism a lot. It teach me so much. I'm so grateful that I have this knowledge in my hands, that I have these books that I can uh, study, and maybe one day I will be able to put this in practice. Because this chapter that we are talking about, they have the parable of the sower. I don't know if you are familiar with this parable. I can resume. Do you know this parable, Samantha, by the way? You remember that?
I have already read it.
Can you tell us?
I don't remember all the details, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. No. I just will try to resume to not be too long. Then when Jesus said the parable about the man who went out to seed, to sow the soil, right? That's right. I don't know if I use the right terms here. And he threw the seeds, on the soils, but some of the seeds fall into a rocket place with a lot of rocks. So the seeds will start growing, but because there is no root and the light of the sun burn them, they die. Some of the other seeds was thrown in a bad soil with no not fertile. I think I have here somehow that I can say better than you. Anyway, come on. Don't shame yourself.
I do have it here.
Here. I found. Good. Why using Portuguese? Let's change English, please. Yes. Compare. And done. The good perch. Yeah. So you went to the ship and it's and then so some seeds fell in the white side, and the floods come and devoured them up. Some fell up a stony place where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprang up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun came up, they were scorched, and because they had no roots, they withered away, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell upon good ground and brought forth fruits, some of hundredfold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Who heard ears to hear, let him hear. So resume this, because they use very old words here that I'm not familiar with, guys. I'm sorry for that. But basically, is what they want to say. The knowledge here for everyone. Thus, some of us, we hear that, we think that is beautiful words, But then, after few time, we will forget about it, and we'll move on with our lives, living the same way, don't change anything. Some of us will take the knowledge, we will feel nice, we start, but because we feel that it's too hard and too challenge, we will give up and keep with our life, change nothing. And some of us will hear the words, take the knowledge, and we will try to do something with that. Some of us will success, some of us will fail, normal, as everything in life. But if we can success and we can you pass this knowledge, away, we will be like will making fruits, and this will like growing, growing, growing. So the knowledge, knowledge is here. I'm sorry, I'm kind of start to so my tongue here. But yes, the knowledge is here. It's up to us to embrace that and to say, okay, it's hard. Well, it's not easy. Like we are always say, we said this all along the speech is hard, but I will try. If I be able to do something, it will be great, good. If I'm not able to do this life, thanks to God's mercy to the incarnation, let's do again next life, next time. Let's do again tomorrow. You know, and it's like small steps, but we have to you keep trying. It's up to us. Like we said, it's free will. It's up to us to embrace the knowledge or not. Doesn't matter if you are a spiritist, if you are the name is just a name. The most important what you do with your life. You know, I think special now that we are living this pandemic thing is it's a big challenge for us because many of us is struggling with a lot of things, you know, because of so many problems that we had. Some people because of the job, some people because of the family. A lot of divorce has happened because the people discover that they are not good together anymore because they are too different, because they have different things in lives, and so many challenges happen. So it's a good moment to us to put this knowledge in practice for those who are ready to. For those that doesn't that feel that it's not right, it's not the right time. Okay, be patient. Maybe next time, maybe next chance, you do different. You know, the most important is to keep trying, like we always say. Don't say so here. We are all mediums, so some extend or another's. I am only when I'm ceased to need it. That's true, then. We are mediums, according to the spiritist, because we all have this glandular in our head. We always have this connection with the spiritual world. Some people more, some people less, but we all are. And it's just a matter how we deal with that. Right, Samantha?
Yeah, yeah, I believe so. I believe so.
This was for this question for Abu. So, to be a spiritist, do need to be a medium or which special gift? Not at all. Not at all, Abu. You don't need even to be a spiritist to study spiritism. Don't hold yourself to these words because it's just words. You know, the knowledge, the books, and the spiritism is here to everyone. You don't need to be a spiritist, or you don't need to be like a medium, active medium, like say. You just to. I think everything that you need is the desire to learn. You know, to have knowledge. To be a better person, like we said. So
Yeah,
it's just a matter of how you want to use that knowledge.
yeah.
But don't attach yourself to these mediumships. How you say mediumships things because is another thing, and these are things really serious. It to be a medium. This person who are a medium, who are how to say extensive medium, this whole people who can interact with the spirits, is a really, really serious, and I can say that I don't have myself. I'm not this kind of medium, right? And but for those who I know that it is quite hard, is a challenge,
Yes.
and you have to study a lot. More you know, better you'll be to deal with that.
Yeah. I would just add to it by saying that in the past, I used to think that all you need is to have good intentions and be a good person. But in fact, I didn't really know what a good person meant at that time. I didn't really know what I needed to do to be a good person. You would think that you don't need like all the basics. Like you should not kill. You should not do things to other people that you wouldn't like them to do to you. All those things. But it was only when I started to study Spiritism that I became to understand a lot of things. And at that time, I used to go to the Spiritist Center and to watch some talks, which was good, very good. And I kind of had this idea of, because every time people said, you need to study Spiritism, and I used to think, what else do you need to study? What is that that you need to study so much? It's simple. But in fact, when you start to study Spiritism, you come to understand so much more, and you can broaden your mind so much as well. So you learn so much from it. And there's the fact that you get in contact with the content all the time as well. So it helps. It keeps everything very active for you in your mind. So this is basically my experience. And as Nate said, or as Dawn said, I am just a student of Spiritism, and I think Spiritism is basically a tool. It's kind of a toolbox that you just open, and you try and use those things to do well in life and to improve yourself with a very good intention, a very good heart. So this is, in my opinion, the most important thing. But try and study Spiritism. Try and read, do the gospel at home, even if it's 15 minutes. Just read a chapter of the Spiritist, or the Spiritist book, or the Gospel According to Spiritism, whatever it is. You're going to learn so much from it, and the more you learn, the more you want to learn. That is the funniest part, because it is exciting. You would think it's not. It is. You have this. At least this is my experience. I have my own questions. I have some curiosities, and by studying Spiritism, it helps me. It helps me a lot. And you said about mediumship as well. So I'm not I am, as Don said, we all are, but I'm not an extensive medium. I don't see anything. I'm not in contact with anything like that. And I really like when Josendro Klingi, as Neji said about, forgot his name. Anyway, Josendro Klingi is a Spiritist, and he gives a lot of talks in Brazil. He's also a psychologist, and I love his talks. And one of the things that he says is that he believes in spirit. They don't need to appear to him. He doesn't need to see it to believe it. Just go and appear to somebody else, because I'm okay. I believe in it. So I kind of think that way as well. I don't need to see a spirit. Don't appear to me. Appear to somebody else, because I believe in you.
That's true. I think the same. I truly believe, but I'm very okay to not see them for a while.
Yeah.
So I think, guys, we reached the end, and I just have a short comments and to bring to you. every Wednesday we have our studies group, is studying in English. If you are interested to join us, just send an email to the spiritism@gmail.com, and I will send you the link. Is coordinated by me and by Tanya Moore every Wednesday. If you want to join us, be free. No background required. And we have a comment. Oh, no. I don't want to see his face. Me too. Then we all on the
that
same boat
makes
here.
us three. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes us three.
Oh yeah, I think most of us in this will be true. And yes, so next Thursday we have a live. Probably Stevan and Vanderlei will be back for your help. But something else, I don't have the folders here for the event, so I will let to Stevan do on the Thursday. Guys, so I'm just very happy to be here. Thank you everyone for the comments. Thank you for the participate. Abu, thank you very much. You are great. I hope that we are here, learning together. Don, thank you very much for participate again, as usually, and everyone else. Kaka, Patricia, Adriana, Daniela, Heraclius, Luana, you all are with us. Thank you very much once again to be here. And I will do the final prayer. I will do, or you do something? I think it's my turn now.
Yeah. Whatever you prefer.
Or no, I did the initial. You do the final. Yeah, I just forget about.
Okay.
And then we can.
So let's open our hearts. Let's raise our thoughts to Jesus, to God. Thank you so much, dear Jesus. Thank you so much, dear God, for all the teachings of this night. Thank you for this interesting conversation that we had. Help us in our daily lives, in our path to perfection. We know we still have a lot to do, but we have all the good intentions that we need. We have our hearts open and we want to learn. So that is the first step. Guide us during this process. Spiritual friends, help us with intuition, help us with all the necessary wisdom, all your influence, so we can reach that so desired perfection one day. Be with us every step of the way. So be it.
Amen. So be it. Thank you very much, Samantha. Thank you guys from US. Thank you people from Kardec Radio. Thank you guys from UK, Brazil, everywhere. Thank you very much to be with us. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you.
God bless all. See you again soon.
Thank you.
Very much. Bye.
Bye.